Hey everyone, I'm Michael.
And I'm Chris.
And we are MK Experience. We live and travel full-time in our 45-foot Newmar Mountain Air motor coach. And we're excited. Tell them what we're going to do today.
So today we're going to give you a campground review on Kamp Dels, located in Waterville, Minnesota.
This has been a great campground to stay at. There's so much to do. This video may be an hour long, so we better get to it. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's roll. We got so much to cover in this video because I think you and I were talking earlier and we were saying that this campground is probably the only one that we've been to that has just a ton of things to do.
All the campgrounds we go to typically have something
a ton
to do.
though.
But beyond the amenities, the activities, there is nonstop something to do at this campground every single day.
You could stay as busy as you want and not even be at your campsite. Come back just to sleep and repeat and do it all over again. Or you can come to your campsite and do nothing.
Yeah.
Depends on your flavor.
Which tends to be mine right about these days, but we've gotten some good bike riding in for sure.
Definitely got some good bike riding in. Okay, so let's kind of start from the beginning. So those of you who went back and watched our video where we first came and checked into, let's set the stage for that. So when you come into Waterville, Minnesota, it's a small town. I think the population is 1750. So it's a small town, but it's very nice. And you come in what I believe is Highway 13, and then you take a right on Sakata Lake Road. And I know when we first pulled in and we took a right on that road, it's really pretty for one thing, right? You got the beautiful lake on the one side, but it's a little narrow. So we were like, whoa, this road's narrow. So if you're driving something that's big like ours, you might be like, okay, this is getting narrow fast, but it's a pretty drive in here.
It is, and obviously it's doable because we're here.
Exactly. So, and then when you turn into Kamp Dels and you start to pull into the parking lot.
First we should set the stage, because when you drive into Kamp Dels, you've got Lake Sakata on the right side of you, and then you've actually got a number of campgrounds.
There's two.
There's on the left side. Yeah. Oh, two campgrounds. Okay. So one of them is primarily seasonal campers, which is a big thing here in Minnesota.
Yes. And then you'll get to Kamp Dels, which we'll get to in a second, of all the seasonal sites they have, and we'll give you all the stats on that. But when you pull it and you come up a drive, it's up an incline. So those of you who are pulling a towable, like us, we have our Jeep, and if you're, you may, like we did, we had to kind of round the corner to kind of get flat as possible so we could disconnect. But you put on the air brakes like we did, you go in and check in, and their check-in area is really nice. They had a lot of staff there, so I didn't wait very long. And let me tell you, their store here is hopping.
Yeah. Oh, it sure is.
It is going all the time because it's the place that you go to get tennis rackets if you want to go play tennis.
Putt-putt golf.
Putt-putt golf, yeah. If you want to get golf, if you want to get firewood. There is just a lot going in there. And so since we're in there, they have a nice little store like, a lot of RV resorts have. It's split up, so on one side you've got all the food, and I even saw diapers and wipes and
pretty much any basic thing that you would need.
Yeah, cooking supplies, campfire stuff,
food.
Yeah, just an amount there. And then they have another half that is all of their swag. So if you want to get Kamp Dels swag, they've got a lot for you to choose from. And up here, it was kind of funny because in the Northwoods, it's a lot of hoodies. Yeah. Because up here, the warm season doesn't last very long, so you got to get your hoodies. But I thought it was set up very well. Everybody was very friendly. Those of you who watched the last video, you know, for us it was a little harrowing because we're like, that's a road or a golf cart path that we got to go down to get to our site. So we had that moment, and since we've been here, we've had to move 3 times, unfortunately.
Well, we landed the first time, had to move to the second spot.
Up the hill.
And then move back.
And move back again. Yeah, so set up, tear down, and then we were nervous about getting back down to the site, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
Currently where we're at, this is site 26, and it is a pull-through site, and it's probably a tighter pull-through site for something our size. And you can go back and watch that video with Brandon, the manager here, cut some tree limbs off just so we could fit
in our site.
In our site. We cut through a site to get to our site and to our site. Had to drive over the patio a little bit, and we didn't crack it. But it's pretty. I mean, this campground is beautiful. It's even on a hill, and
overlooking the lake. And
it's just gorgeous from that standpoint. I feel like, though, where we are currently, site 26, it's a little tight versus where we were up on site 127. Yes. Which, I don't know about you, but 127 would be what I would recommend for anybody with a rig our size to go to.
It's definitely, there's a lot more activity in the second site that we were in, because it's right in front of the tennis courts and the playground, and the main store is all right there. So there's definitely a lot more activity, but it's just a lot easier to get in and get out. Now it's pretty quiet down where we are now, and we're primarily surrounded by seasonals in this particular section of the campground. There's only 2 rows of pull-throughs that are for weekenders. So that part's nice. But, you know, either way, you know, depending on the size of your rig, they're both great areas. We just happen to feel a lot more comfortable up by the tennis courts. And
it is a back end, So there's no pull-throughs up there, but there was room to back in up there, which was great. Matter of fact, we wish we could have stayed up there instead of having to move back into 26 here, but all that worked out well. I would say for the most part here, man, if you have a travel trailer, small class C, maybe even a 30-something foot Super C or 30-something foot Class A coach, you're going to be fine here. And most all of their sites. We did see another 45-footer, I think it was a Dutch Star, and he was over towards the pool area, and he literally had his tires lifted off the ground. So I don't recommend that.
Yeah, and that's it. Not all of the sites in this campground are level. Typically the campgrounds that we stay at pretty much have cement pads on, where you're pulling onto a pretty flat spot. So this, you definitely have a little play in the camp spots. So you just have to be prepared, bring what you need just in case.
Yeah, and they don't allow golf carts here. So we don't have our golf cart, but we do have our e-bikes, and they allow e-bikes and scooters and boy, let me tell you, longboarders. And I mean, there has been a lot of that around this park because it's so big. It's actually kind of a fun place to make some bike laps, and just drive around and see.
Yeah, it's so big that they actually have trams that come around the park all day long, I think from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. at night, because it is quite a distance to get from one end to the other, like from where we are to get to the pool. It's, it's quite a walk, and a lot of people do ride their bikes, which is, that's an option as well.
And it's really nice because on the back of those trams or shuttle trams or, whatever they call them, I'm not exactly sure, but they got a carrying rack. So, if you got some beach chairs or you got your, your beach, what would you call it, duffel bag or whatever.
Yeah.
You got a place to store that in the back. And that's really nice that they offer that. Okay, so we did talk about the sites a little bit. So let's finish just a little bit with the sites. So all the sites that we've been at are all full hookup sites, right? 50 amp, 30 amp. They pretty much the standard thing. They got the patio, which is really nice. There's a little bit of gravel with grass. Okay. So they're not complete gravel. They're fairly level, but not the greatest. Maybe in some spots are better. And then, like all campgrounds, there's tighter areas to try to get into, and then they're all decent. But I would say this place is pretty much packed. I mean, they use every inch, every yard.
And they've got spots that I noticed that you've got some electric and water, but no sewer, and they allow tent camping too. So you actually see a lot of tents throughout the campground as well.
So let's talk a little bit before we jump into all the amenities and just all that stuff. There's a lot to talk about there, but I think it's really cool that Kamp Dels has an amazing 70-year history, and it's been passed down to 3 generations of popes. I mean, the Pope family are the ones who own this, and I think it's really cool and a testament to them that they've been able to keep it in the family. And we got to meet one of them, Brandon, who's a Pope, who's the son, that is a manager here, and the customer service was just amazing of what he went through for every day. Which here on 26, it's right across from us, and so we hear "Good morning, Kamp Dels campers," and if you don't know that that's what's going on, you may think, is there a tornado or something coming that I need to be aware of, or where's that voice coming from? But he gives you the layout of the whole day, tells you what's going on, what activities, tells you that they got donuts, fresh donuts up in the store, and they're on sale right now. I mean, he goes through this whole thing of what's getting ready to happen throughout the day, and I just think that's endearing. I think that's really cool.
And it's very family oriented, so for kids especially, I think it's awesome.
Absolutely. And that goes to say that Chris actually downloaded their app.
Yes.
So that, and just talk a little bit about that.
Oh my gosh, like I don't have the app in front of me, but it's so helpful because it has, everything from where their, tornado, storm shelters are, to the activities that are going on in the campground throughout the day, to being able to rent. They've got paddle boats out there, and and the canoes and things, you can rent those online, and just pretty much anything going on at the campground is there on that app, which is awesome.
So yes, if you get here to Kamp Dels, download that app, or you can listen for the loudspeaker.
Yeah.
It goes off at 9 o'clock every morning.
But like us, we typically sleep through it, so it's more like wah, 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 right?
And then we fall back asleep.
Yeah, we fall back to sleep. But, that the app, I'm surprised more campgrounds don't use an app, but again, there are so many activities going on here each and every day, you couldn't keep them straight.
Okay, speaking of activities, now let's make that segue, because Chris is going to give you a breakdown of, they have so much going on at this place, so if you're taking notes, get out your notepad and try to keep up.
Seriously, I had to write this down because there's no way I could remember all of the things. But they've got great pools. They've got a big outdoor slide. They've got a splash pool for kids.
Talk about the size of that slide.
Oh, that slide is 30 feet high?
32
feet high, the big, yeah. And there's a rock or a climbing wall.
Over the water.
There's a ton of activities just alone in the Waterpark pool, and then next to that is just your regular lap kind of pool, lounge outlay next to the water, and then on the other side of that is a splash pool for kids with slides and all kinds of fun things, water spouts, whatever. So it is
a really cool area.
It is a very cool area. Let's see what else. They've got a petting zoo, which, oh my gosh, we saw sheep and goats and a little mini horse and a llama
and lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, okay, no.
Not quite, but it was really sweet, and look, you could definitely tell the little kids were enjoying it. They've got mini golf. The mini golf course is it's pretty nice. It's right next to one of the, how many playgrounds are there? 4 or 5 playgrounds?
Yeah, there's at least.
Really nice playground set up, and then next to that is tennis courts. Apparently they actually have pony rides too from time to time, but there's tennis courts, basketball, there's sand volleyball, shuffleboard, horseshoe pits, a softball field, frisbee golf. Then, as I mentioned before, paddle boats, canoes, rowboats, and fishing boats. They've got an arcade, and let me tell you, that arcade is so cool.
So cool. Yeah.
There's a bowling alley in there, and tons of just fun arcade games, anywhere from a tiny little tot to, adults. And let me tell you, they were all in there.
You can't forget your prize wall.
Oh yes, and then there's a prize wall. So, you can collect your prize at the end. There are, let's see, daily coloring contests. There's crafts for the kids. With
Which we
Mama
missed that.
Jess.
We forgot to enter the coloring contest.
We did not enter the coloring contest. There are, as I said, multiple large playgrounds, and there's a fitness center, a snack bar with ice cream and pizza and all that yummy stuff. Then we talked about the general convenience store. There's, of course, shower houses and laundry. You can't have a campground without that.
And let's talk about the shower houses, because I'll have some footage playing right now while we talk about it, but they have really clean and nice houses here, and restrooms, which, for those who are tent camping, or if you just want to use their showers and stuff, it's great. It's very nice and very neat and well kept. And then they have a really nice laundry area. You want to talk about that?
I mean, it's your basic laundry area. It's
couple machines,
couple machines, dryers,
folding table.
Folding table, nicely set up, lots of room, and we definitely saw people using both the showers and the laundry. So definitely a nice benefit if you need that.
Yes.
They are coin operated, so I saw quarters. So bring your change.
Bring your change.
For sure. Let's see then, for the sites, obviously, that don't have the sewer, they've got a dump station. And then the other thing, too, is they've got themed activities and weekends. Like they had a contest for Christmas in July, which I would imagine probably a lot of campgrounds were doing that in July. So, and then from time to time, they've got live bands that come out here. One of the afternoons or one of the days, actually, a local pizza company or restaurant came in and brought their pizza ovens, and you could go and get pizza if you wanted pizza for something different. They've got, the Wi-Fi is free, and it's
pretty decent.
It's pretty decent.
Yeah.
They've got, was that ADA accessible facilities?
Yeah, so if you're handicapped and in a wheelchair, they are set up for that here.
They've got campfire and picnic sites actually around the campground too, not just at your site, but each site, obviously, you have a fire ring and your picnic table, which is nice. And so
that leads us to talk a little bit about how big this park is and how many sites they have. So they have 500 total sites scattered throughout this place, which is huge. And then they divided it up where 250 are for overnighters like us, and then they have 250 seasonal sites. And the cost of those seasonal sites is $5,500 a year. And then they're metered, so you have to pay for your own electric. But then, the swimming and whatever else you do here, the garbage, all that is included here. So that's a pretty cool deal.
Yeah, and it's nice because each section of the campground just has a little something different to offer. And you've got the sites up near the arcade that is just really like a quiet area that's all like treed in, these beautiful canopy trees. We're down right now by the lake, and then there's actually a section that they have put in a man-made lake, and there's
there's a fountain out in the middle.
And all the campers that surround that.
There's a basketball court out there,
and a number of other areas as well. So depending on what you're looking for, there's probably something for just about everyone here.
And here's a funny thing. So we were out riding the bikes, and we put the GoPro on the bike, and we just happened to find the bingo game. And oh my gosh, bingo is the thing to do out here apparently, because there's probably 100+ people
easily.
And
oh my gosh, they were having a great time. So yeah, they've got daily drawings, and every day there's just something. If you want to, they have basketball contests and putt-putt golf contests. So if you, aside from doing it with your family, if you're competitive and you want to get involved in something like that, you've got those types of activities going on here as well, which is really cool.
I was just thinking, did you cover the batting?
There's
cages?
A batting cage, right? And pickleball court. Yes.
And a driving range. So if you want to practice your golf, or maybe you're not a golfer like me, and you just want to swing and hit at a ball to see if you even miss it, whiff it, or maybe you're a Happy Gilmore, and you want to do that move.
But yeah, I mean, there literally is something for absolutely everyone here.
Absolutely. Okay, so cover the cost
The cost.
per site. Yeah.
Oh, let's see.
So we'll give everybody.
Oh, this is
an
for
idea.
the people that are seasonal?
No, overnighters.
Oh, overnighters. Yeah, so for throughout the week, I think it's Monday through Thursday, it's $91 a night, Monday through Wednesday.
Monday through Wednesday, because
Yes.
it's Thursday through Sunday.
Thursday through Sunday is $119 a night, at least for the full hookup sites.
Yep, full hookup sites. Yep.
So, what else?
And I just kind of want to give you a rough idea of what it was, just for general full hookup sites here. And let's say this, like Kamp Dels gets a lot of visitors and a lot of guests just like us. So they estimate that over 15,000 per year come to Little Waterville, Minnesota, and which is amazing.
And you have to realize too that they're only open from what, May to October?
Yeah, I think to the end of October,
Yeah.
maybe early September, and then that's it.
Yeah, they shut down. It gets freezing, a lot of snow. And let me tell you, it's so funny because one of the things we have noticed here is we've had to turn our burner on to keep our water hot because the water comes from the ground from a well and it's so cold.
Yeah, it comes out so cold. and that's a good point to mention. So, we use the clear source water filtration system, which we have going. And then we
yeah.
also have a filter in the motor coach. So it gets 4 times filtered, actually 5. Right,
Yeah.
because then we take it inside to our Berkey for drinking water, but not in our drinking water. But you will smell the iron, in the water here coming from the well. So maybe if we had a softener added, maybe we wouldn't smell that. But
Yes, and that, and for us, this trip has definitely told us that we need a softener, because I'll tell you, for those of you blonde hair, gray hair, it wreaks havoc on your hair.
it's wreaked havoc on my hair so much it's all falling off.
So just, bring your purple shampoo, bring your clarifying hair, whatever.
Wait a minute, you're camping. Who cares about you?
Yeah, we actually had to go out and buy that, what is it called? It's
it's something is it Ironworks?
It's a cleaner it's a cleaner specifically for iron, and it works great. But you will, if you're here for any period of time, you will definitely notice the iron buildup.
Yeah, that's what small things
Yeah.
we worry about. But and speaking of the water pressure here is
Awesome. Oh, it's so good. Yeah.
So good. It almost reminds you of being at home. So and for RVers or people who full time, that's a pretty big deal. The water pressure. So I'm glad you brought that. Yeah, definitely you'll enjoy the water pressure here. But everybody here has been has been friendly to us, been super nice and accommodating. The staff, we've recently, you meet camping neighbors. We have some camping neighbors here from Canada that it was just kind of fun to talk with them and learn a little bit more about what's going on up there in Canada. And, it's camping at its finest. It's fun, it's relaxing, and we've enjoyed it. We've been up here, as many of you know who follow our channel, visiting our adult kids up here in Minnesota, which is why we're here. But it's our first time staying here at Kamp Dels.
And we actually booked a site for next year, so that we didn't necessarily get the spot that we wanted, but we got a spot close enough to what we wanted that we will not have to move, hopefully.
Yes, so we're up around the tennis courts
Yeah.
again. And to me, again, if now that we've been here for a while, we kind of got to know the lay of the land, and we had asked them, hey, if we book now for next year, can we get this site and just stay on it? And I know that some campgrounds have a policy that if you're there longer than 2 weeks, you have to move. I don't necessarily think they have that here. I think here it's based on bookings. Somebody's already pre-booked and locked in your site. But we locked in next year up around the tennis court, so that's going to be awesome.
Just much more comfortable knowing how easy it is to get in and get out of those spots.
So we definitely recommend Kamp Dels.
Yeah.
If you're in Minnesota and you're thinking about, why would I go to Minnesota? Chris and I were talking about that. We don't ever really see a lot of videos on YouTube with, it's not, like going out west. So many people go out west or to the East Coast, or you don't hear a lot about the North Woods, but this is a beautiful place
It
to
really
come
is.
to.
It's a gorgeous area.
And there is lots to do. Like we just said, here at Kamp Dels, there's lots to do, but we went off to some state parks and We have a video that we'll have coming up with that. There's waterfalls to go see. Just as we were sitting here filming this video, a bald eagle flew over the campground. I mean, where else can you go?
Yeah, it's definitely, and I have to say, you know, we have primarily spent the majority of time with our family, so we haven't really got out to explore, you know, as much as we could have. But next year, you know, since we've seen certain sites this year, we'll get to explore new sites next year, which is great because there's already some that are on our list that we didn't get to this year.
So if you're thinking about it, you're like, you know what, I've never been up to the North Woods of Wisconsin or Minnesota, definitely put that on your bucket list, or put it on your list to come to and visit. And if you're up this way, in Waterville, Minnesota, definitely got to come here, and especially if you have kids. Oh my gosh, your kids are going to love it here. So,
well, and just the only warnings, I guess I would say, is one, 4th of July, crazy. But I would imagine any campground over 4th of July is going to be crazy.
Yes.
The pool was literally wall-to-wall people. I wouldn't even attempt it.
I don't even know if you could jump in it. That's how many people are.
But, you know, aside from that, it looks like it's great. And then again, if you are a Class A, if you are a big rig, you really
45-footer.
45-footer, you know,
just be ready for a little bit of a challenge.
Be ready for a little bit of challenge. Be very clear on the size and the height and the width and all of that. Just so, you know, again, the roads are narrow, people are parked along the way. And so, you know, we definitely recommend staying up near the tennis courts, near the check-in. That would be our recommendation for anybody driving a big rig.
Yes, and definitely come check out this campground because it is wonderful. The people are wonderful. The customer service, I feel like, is really great here, and they're fun, and they'll cut down tree branches just to get you into your site. So that's amazing. So again, we want to thank the Pope family. We want to thank everybody here at Kamp Dels. Thank you for what you do. It doesn't go unnoticed, and I know we don't have, you know, little kids here with us, you know, playing to really experience a lot of that kind of stuff, but you guys do just a great job. Your staff does a great job here of keeping the place, you know, manicured, picked up. There's not garbage laying around.
Well, and let me just add something on that too. It's interesting. We ran into some fellow Newmar owners. They had owned a Dutch Star, and because of some changes that had been made at one of the campgrounds, that was actually the campground that we were originally going to stay at, they've shrunk in size. They made the decision to get a spot here at Kamp Dels, and then bought I don't know, what would you call it? Just a park model.
It says park model.
They, you know, so they've got a seasonal site here, and their grandkids absolutely love it.
Yeah.
The other campground didn't have nearly the amenities. So, you know, just again, if you've got kids, or, you know, you're thinking about even looking for a seasonal site, if you're in, you know, the Minnesota, Wisconsin area, this campground has so much to offer.
You'll have a blast, I guarantee you. And we got some videos coming up. There are state bike trails that are near here that Chris and I went on, and we got a video coming up about that. There, again, you know, it's like anywhere. I guess you could say you could do as little as you want, or you could be, you know, going and going all the time. But we definitely recommend coming to Kamp Dels and checking it out. And hey, if you're watching this for the first time, we want to thank you for tuning in and watching our channel. We would love and be honored if you would subscribe and then hit that thumbs up and hit the notification button, so every time we post a video, you're going to be notified. And with that, we say God bless
and safe travels.